All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, very bizarre news came from Clarissa Sheilds about Gervonta Davis. And she gives him what I think is some inappropriate advice. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division, where Gervonta Davis had some information released about him from Clarissa Sheilds that was mind-boggling at the time she said it to me. And she gives Gervonta some advice that I think is highly inappropriate. Before I get into the details of it, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much. This video is a little bit of a personal one for me because I listened to Clarissa Sheilds, who was giving an interview, and she was asked about Gervonta Davis, and she said a series about things about Gervonta Davis that stood out to me, and I thought that didn't sound right. So the first thing that Clarissa Sheilds says is that Gervonta Davis was evicted, and after having been evicted from your house, after having made all that money, but you're still getting evicted, that's clearly something's going on in your life, and you need to go seek professional help for your mental health and figure it out, right? Now, Clarissa Sheilds gives this advice in a camera with somebody in her face, knowing a whole bunch of people are going to hear this. And she says it without real regard to whether or not what she says, number one, is logical, and number two, whether or not her piece of advice is appropriate. As far as Gervonta Davis being evicted from his home, earning all of this money, but yet still being evicted from his home, that did not happen. Not in the way that Clarissa Sheilds stated it, or you might be led to believe. My understanding is that Gervonta Davis was evicted from an apartment or a house after his second professional fight. He was fighting, he had gold jewelry, he had chains or whatever, and he had to sell his jewelry to get into a house because he was evicted. Right now, think about this for a second. Gervonta Davis in his second fight was not signed with Floyd Mayweather Jr. In his second fight was sometime around the year, 2015 or something like that. I think is around the time that he turned pro, somewhere around 2015. So that was 10 years ago. You're talking about not something that just happened. But let's just think, he's 30 now, he's 20 before, right? If you got a bunch of money and you're 20 years old and you get evicted, what is that usually? That's usually a kid that just not taking care of and not paying his bills. So he bought some chains and jewelry and all that stuff, thinking he had more money than he probably had. And he spent too much money. He was living somewhere and they're like, hey, man, you got to pay me the rent. Well, who knows? That might have been his first time ever living in an apartment. Might have been his first time, ever living by himself as a young man with some money in his hands. Shit happens. When I was a little kid, 20, 25 years old, man, my credit took a hit. I had money, I just didn't pay the phone bill. Or I had money, I overextended my debit card and I just closed the account instead of putting the money back in. All kind of dumb little stuff you do when you are, how long ago was this? 10 years ago? When you're 19, 20 years old, you make mistakes, right? So come on. That's highly irresponsible to not investigate that, understand it better, but to act like he's so wild and out there with his money that he can get a $15, $20 million payday, multiple $100 million paydays, but he gets thrown out because he's evicted. Yeah, maybe if he was getting evicted now, maybe he should seek some help, right? But not when he wasn't making any money when he's 20 years old. Come on, Clarissa, you got to get the story right before you put that out there on that guy. But the second part of it, to me, is what kind of got me. Because if you don't know, this second point is a matter of personal experience. Because I have suffered from mental health issues throughout my life. Sometimes worse, sometimes better. Unfortunate, but it is something that I go through and I have to worry about in my life. So I have a lot of experience with people saying, hey, man, you may not be quite right. You may not be quite right now, right? However, let me tell you the best way to give that advice to somebody or make that observation to somebody and the wrong way to do it. The way you do that, if you feel like that, if Clarissa Sheilds really felt like that, was to pick up a phone. Hey, just wanted to tell you, Gervonta, hey, I'm just checking on you. I hope you're doing well. Let me know if you need anything. Okay, cool. I'm going to hit you back in a couple weeks just to check to see how you're doing. And Gervonta may say, leave me alone, or he may not respond at all or whatever, right? But if you DM him that, he'll see it in his DMs. He would get the message. But guess who doesn't get to see it? The other 30 bazillion people in the world who you telling it to are not going to help. It does not help Gervonta for Clarissa Sheilds to tell 3,000 people that watch a YouTube video that Gervonta needs help, especially when she doesn't have the information, the accurate information about Gervonta and what he's going through. Because personally, I don't think Gervonta Davis looks like he needs mental health really any more than anybody else does, maybe with coping with different things. But at the stage he is in his career, man, actually gentling himself down through therapy may not be good for his actual career. But anyway it goes, I just thought that was, number one, highly irresponsible to say that man got evicted from his house, so maybe he needs to go seek help because he got evicted 10 years ago. And that's just something that happens to kids. As you get to be 30 years old, 25, 30 years old, you start getting more responsible. You start taking care of your money better if you got some and you got some sense. And that's probably just the direction that he's going in. But, how does Clarissa feel about somebody telling her, misquoting something that she said, making it up look like she did something or something happened that did not really happen, and then proceed to tell everybody in the world that Clarissa Sheilds needs to go get some help needs to go get some mental health therapy, mental health assistance? No, man, just all around bad juju the way that she did that. Wrong information and bad advice. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. I greatly appreciate everybody that supports the channel. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.